Glorious people. Right, I just wanted to tell you another little story time, because I told you guys a story the other day, and I think it left some of you wondering how I came to have chlamydia at the age of 15 and how I was so promiscuous at a young age, and I thought I'd tell you that story. When I was younger, it was 3 weeks actually, precisely after my 14th birthday, I should probably put a trigger warning on this. Not a trigger warning for me anymore, because, you know, we're all right, but for other people, let it be known, trigger warning. But yeah, it was 3 weeks after my 14th birthday, and I was raped. And because I was a virgin at the time, I think with trauma, you either go one way or the other, don't you? You either really go into yourself or you really go, and I blew up. I think out of a need to reclaim, not that I could ever reclaim my virginity, but out of a need to start having sex because I wanted to and not because I was forced into it, I became like probably one of the biggest whores known to South London. Probably not the biggest, but I got around. And I was very promiscuous, and so at 15 I had chlamydia, and it wasn't a bad thing. I remember when I found out, it was absolutely tragic. I actually thought I was dying. I thought I had AIDS or something, and then someone explained, it's absolutely fine, it's only the clap. But that is how I became so promiscuous at a young age, and was on the path I was on. And this is kind of leading into how I ended up leaving school, because this kind of all happened not when I was at school, but at a time when, I was in school, I was school age. And it obviously affected me, and I was acting up at school. And I remember one day the teacher said to me, "You don't bring your problems to school." And I just said, "Fuck you, I'm never going to come back to this school again." And I didn't. I walked out, and I never looked back. And that was like, I was 14, and that's how I've ended up not going to school, and I suppose doing what I do, because I understand how your life can change like that. Trauma can happen like that, and in a second, not your whole life, because my whole life certainly wasn't fucked from that. If anything, I'm going to say, put me on a path to here. So who even knows if that was the terrible, terrible, terrible thing that I deemed it to be at the time. And I know that's a big thing to say, but it happened to me, and I can say with hindsight that now understanding the law of attraction, I understand how I played a role in that. And I'm not saying I did anything to deserve that, and I'm not saying I did anything to make that happen, but what I am saying is, now understanding the law of attraction, and I'll do another video about this because this is a whole other separate matter, but understanding that, I now understand how everything, pretty much everything, comes with some sort of reason or some sort of why as to why it's happened. And you don't see that at the time all the time. Like, it takes a long time to get that hindsight, but now in that hindsight, I'm like, what it is, and if it wasn't for it, I'm not saying I would want it to happen to anybody, or I'd even want to go through that again, but what I am saying is where it's led me, and the woman I am now, and what I'm able to do, I don't know, it just is what it is. But I just wanted to let you know that's how I ended up being a little bit of a hoe when I was younger, because I guess I rebelled against what happened, and I just wanted to make sex something I wanted to do because I say it's okay, and not because somebody else did, right? And I think it goes like that for a lot of people. Anyway, don't judge me and my hoeiness. I'm 4 years celibate now. 4 years, not one dick. Haven't even seen a testicle. Anyway, people can change, and that's testament to the fact that people can change as well, because I tell you what, people always say to me, "Oh, do you believe people can change?" Yes, they can. But here's the thing, it normally takes a long fucking time, and it's never because you want them to or because somebody else is encouraging you to. It's always off your own back. People change when they want to. They change when they've had a fuck enough of their own shit, and they change in their own time, and you cannot force it a moment fucking sooner, trust me. Anyway, I know this probably wasn't the nicest story for all of you to hear, but it's my story, or at least one of them nonetheless. I am not Dr. Tamara, certainly not a doctor. As you can probably tell as these stories go on and on and on, I'm really not qualified. I've just lived my life and now like to help people find their fucking happiness, because trust me, you can find it and you flipping deserve it. Anyway, follow me, subscribe, do all that jazz. I should probably get off my phone, and you guys have a glorious day.